All right, so we had just hit the target, the one that you have opened in our previous session. So if you look at that here, it's 125 pip. Welcome traders, back on another session here. Okay, so let's begin today's session here on XAUUSD, and also we'll be looking at WTI, which has got a pickup. Again, we can see that. Welcome, hello, and dollar index started to push up again, which shows possible, because this is if you look at dollar index below support area now, you can see. Okay, looking at dollar index will give us better understanding. Okay, so now retail nominate news. Okay, thanks for that. Usually, if you look at that, the retail news, which is if it isn't red folder, probably will not be very volatile, but it's still, thanks for letting us know. We'll be looking at here that one as well. If you look at that here on XAUUSD, this is that you can see the market has multiple liquidity sweep and it's getting highly liquid now, that you can see on gold after creating significant rejection of this area of value that you can see. And with this movement that you can see on gold is currently in a sharp downtrend. This is the trade also previous session we have opened. Now I'm looking for also opening some new positions along this way. So here that the market has shown a complete rejection of this price action that you can see from the, this is the 1 hour price. It's a complete break of support, and also daily chart that you can see the break of support, and also the 1 hour price action after you see that massive liquidity sweep of this, and the market has entirely dropped back below. So because the market has entirely dropped back below here, that the price action is most likely to, we could see the reversing back here to this support. So that movement from the technical analysis, we will be looking at this market to give us that possible entry of this. And the market is pretty volatile. And is there any current news that you can see? Yeah, so this is the current volatility. This is the red folder news. Red folder news is very important. We'll be looking at what is the sentiment now. Iran tells Yemen's Houthis to close Bab el Mandeb gateway to the Red Sea if US hits power network RTRC resource. So there is a, I think that's a potentially oil waterway. The overall situation that you can see is pretty volatile. Okay, so the war is escalated, is significantly escalated, that you can see at the moment. And that So we can see the reflection here in the market. And the market has, this is a massive liquidity sweep on both direction here. And with this massive liquidity sweep on both direction, especially the Iran news of gateway to Red Sea, so Bab al Mandeb gateway, I think that's a vital oil passage. What's that? I think so. Do you know what's that gonna influence the market? Especially, it might, yes, it had the oil price really jump off as soon as this news has come out. So if you look at 27 minutes ago, if you look at the 5 minutes, 1 2 3 4 20 minutes, okay. So you see that's why I look at the market. And if you are not looking at the breaking news, this is how you can look at. And you might say, okay, I'm not trading trading the oil. I mostly trade euro dollar, British pound, US dollar, or gold. But it's gonna influence everything, okay, because energy is vital, okay. So if you look at that, some of the areas such as the energy, transport, okay, food sector, these are very vital for an economy. So energy is essential. So if you look at that, creating an inverted head and shoulder of this level, it had breakout. Now this is just, if you look at that 20 minutes ago, and the news came out 27 minutes, just as soon as this data has come out, this information has come out, the market picked up. So that shows that oil might goes here further escalation. If you look at, there is a doji here that you can see at this level. So if the oil is pushing higher, you could see that gold is also maintaining this sharply downtrending market structure here that you can see at this level. So therefore, looking at here in this market to show its directional bias, and if we look at that, the market is showing up from here a large 15 minutes bearish engulfer. Look at the 1 hour here, also you can see that there is a bearish engulfer here at this level. So that shows this is currently in large bearish engulfer continuation, and we could see the price action may break below here, and that can give its high probability trade setup to this support area here. Now off this level, you can see the market here with this movement, the price action is having back below to this support area here, and that can create that downside momentum, and we could see that the price action to break that low. And 1 minute chart, there is one breakout. So the currently, if you look at that here, that this is the current resistance line on the 1 minute, and there is a liquidity at this level. The trend shows that there is a stronger downtrend continuation. 4 hour chart also shows bearish move. So as the liquidity shows that there is a stronger selling pressure that we are looking for so far, we'll be looking at here. Look at that, we can look at the 2 minutes chart, which can give more look at that 1 minute, 2 minutes. 2 minutes might be more reliable in terms of little slower. Many traders trade on 1 minute and 5 minutes because the MT4 time frame. We can look at all time frame, but also we'll be looking at the 2 minutes, which will give us a bit more time for entry if needed. All right, so let's wait for the market structure to form. We'll look at the 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and 15 minutes to see that the overall trend direction here in this market. By the way, traders, if you haven't liked this stream, make sure you do so. and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Okay, so the previous session that you have opened was an enormously important move that you guys can see at that level, which has given this market the new momentum here. And with this new momentum, we have that reaction back below. Hello. Iran has asked its Houthi allies in Yemen to be prepared to close the vital Red Sea oil route if the US attacks in Iranian power infrastructure. Three sources have told the Reuters news agency. Yeah, this is what you can see here. I think that's a really very, very outside. It's a very, very concerning matter because already Strait of Hormuz is closed. That already, if you look at that, created a spike on oil. You see that how the market reacted to that. And this is a very, you see that in this whole move, this is the largest candle on the 30 minutes. And because when Strait of Hormuz is closed and when you see that the other route get closed, that's gonna be a really concerning, right? But anyway, let's now, wait for the best thing to happen. But at the moment, if you look at that, the market has reacted to that, and as the oil is pushing higher, if you look at that here, USD JPY, also here that you can see trending, and dollar index. So dollar index is slowly also trying to push here back to the upside. And on USD JPY also trying to push here up. Especially gold is very volatile, and we are looking at gold, and also what about the Euro USD? Euro dollar, as I mentioned earlier, may not find very strong bullish bias here because we can see that oil is started to push down. That means dollar index is potentially pushing higher. That can create that on XAUUSD to potentially break below here. And this is also a single move of this level here entirely, which has created a big drop back below that you can see with this doji formation, which has shown the market to have that reaction back below here at this level. Now, if we see another breakup structure, I'm happy to go for short again shortly after. I'm ready for an entry once we see the confirmation. This market is still highly likely to drop. Now, we'll be discussing also the previous trade that was open here. Now you can see that all those key resistance line along this area, the market has broken first of all the key resistance line, and the market has that reacted back below of this level. Now, with this kind of rejection, as the market is approaching those key area of value, that you can see the market is now moving here in that direction. So That said, with this movement, as the market is currently having that directional bias, we can look for that market to have that return again down. And the lower time frame, also you can see the trend. So this is the resistance line here, which if you look at that, slowly creating that upside. So which is also creating a long here, very large doji. 15 minutes also creating that bearish pressure along this area. Shows the market to have that reaction back below. And this is a highly bearish market now if you look at that overall. And so another lower time frame candle close along this area. If you look at the 5 minutes, also closing as a long bearish price action. But the OEC rejection also, it's here series of high and low. So we'll be waiting for a little more confirmation here along this area for any sell setup along this zone. So there is a 5 minutes also bearish engulfer has formed at this level, which shows that the market might be here remaining. It's pretty volatile. Now the 30 minutes here, we might see here most likely the weak fill below, and it's getting too faster. So from the 1 hour, you can see the pretty large bearish candle, and strong impulsive move. Especially the 4 hour shows that a big red candle crossing that zone. So the market structure is highly likely to fill that gap here, which is strongly bear market that you can see at this level. Uh, it's sharply falling. So we'll be waiting for breakup structure. I think we could enter earlier, but I'm waiting to see. Nothing to be rush on trading. These are the key. I'm sell from 4029. Okay, so yeah, this is a good point that market is most likely to fill that long wick at the bottom. There is a volatility now, there's a volume. So you could see that with the red big candles, that you understand this is a currently in a downtrend. There is a significant liquidity grab at the top, which has given the market now a momentum. So previously I was trying to sell off this level, but the market just has dropped and again grabbed more liquidity. Now it has a momentum in it for the sell of along this way. So let me just keep coming down here. This is a large red candle. Still this 4-hour candle has the whole 1 hour 20 minutes remaining. So that and there is, if you look at, this is a complete imbalance in the market. So chances for the market to have that reaction back below is higher. We'll see that where it is heading. And so as you can see, the market is creating this structure from here, that it's now started to break below to this support area here. And okay, so a big sell off this level from here. Okay, and we were looking at for now this pullback zone again for to be able to go for short. Looks like very sharply bearish. It's just being sold off here. So the current 5 minutes, this is the, recent level of liquidity zone here that you can see at this level. Okay, from here that you can see the market is slowly trying to move up to that, and that is where once you see confirmation after an initial pullback, we can look for entry. Okay, so the 5 minutes that you can see of this is closing as a narrow green candle. We'll be looking for sell of this one here. So I'm planning for, I'm still not entering, just planning for a sell. If we see that the market is this candle closing a specific way, that means we need a green body in it to be closed as a potential as a doji. But if it keeps coming down, then might not be able to sell off this. So 2 minutes there is a bearish engulfer. And then closes a green candle. Not entering yet. Slowly it's building that bearish move, very strongly downtrend. So any breakup structure will give us that selling opportunity here in this market. All right, so this 50 minutes is closing as a doji. Still we have 6 minutes to go. This is the current level of lower time frame level that you can see at the moment. Mostly what I'm waiting for a break of a structure. This is a sharply falling market, so we might not see a very strong break of structure. But if we see that at least going back to the recent level of resistance, we can look for sell entry here in this area. The difference from the Gulf War is that in 1990, dominant fear was a sudden oil supply shock and uncertainty which pushed gold higher. The difference from the Gulf War is that 1990, the dominant fear was a sudden oil supply shock. It's not still any. The difference between Gulf War shock in 1990 and the dominant fear was a sudden oil supply shock and uncertainty which pushed gold higher. In the current situation, the market is focusing more on inflation, higher rates, stronger dollar, which is weighing on gold. In the current situation, the market is focusing more on inflation, higher rate, stronger dollar. Yeah, you're right. So inflation is a big factor in terms of the market movement. So here you can see the price is from the 30 minutes start to push back down, which was a pretty big move that you can see at the moment. And but it's very strongly, like there is no pullback here. And because there is a very strong volume that you can see, it has volume here now, you can expect it to lower further back below. That might, crossing this low, coming back below here. So it's very near to the support. So from here, that in one single move and shows that the market to have the reaction back below, which is showing that the price action to return down here. And you see that on this lower time frame as well. Now patience is key. The market went very strongly falling. We just need to wait to see that right entry point. And you can see that there was very long consolidation, so massive consolidation here. Quite a few consolidation move. Finally, back to back liquidity grab for this, eventual drop here in this market. Just given this big move back below here. And so the only thing that you can do here, patiently wait for that to happen. 0.293991. Just taken profit now at 3991. Cool. We can enter once we see the market has gone to this key support level, key area of value. We can look at that entry. Especially we want to see one move to the upside for this entry. Awesome. So now buyers buying. How far you can expect it to? So that's 1 hour closed. Now this hour might be little slower move, but we'll be able to enter from an important level. This is the 1 hour resistance, because when the 1 hour kind of close, you'd see some significant pullback can happen. Very large red bear candle that can push that market well below. So you could see somewhere here for the market to come down to this support. Nice. Awesome. Thank you. First, with this massive red move, minimum pullback that you can look at to this level, 38.2 or around that zone. Going to that can give its bias back below here. price action is very um, trendy here. So some move here. Okay, come on. Let's have some music. Let the market to go for a deeper pullback. And heavy drop. Looks like it's heading to 3965 lower. Yeah, this is a very heavy blow. Yeah. So we will be looking at entry um, with usually, if you look at this is another 5 minutes candle. You want to see significant break of structure to be able to look for sell. Now, if we see that this candle going up, this is the 1 hour candle close that you can see it's approaching this 1 hour resistance line. We might see that again rejection back below of this. The volatility is high, so would like to enter from as better place as possible. If you look at the 1 hour, this is the 1 hour resistance, 1 hour resistance here, and okay, so we want to see significant pullback. That's what the patience is. Okay, if you look at the, this is the Fibonacci level, also the 1 hour resistance line. Now with this, it looks like this 5 minutes candle might close as a green candle. This one is going to hit that this zone, which is the 1 hour resistance level. You can look for sell entry for short period of time to this level again, which is the support. Okay, so let's see how it is directly going. If it is, if this one is directly going to there's few smaller candle created, so you could see the market is going to hit this level or this level. Some of the zone that the market might be going to hit, and once we see the market is going to hit here, we'll be looking to see. Okay, so at this level, the market is trying to break this high, which is need to see the market is going for this pullback. Can go extended pullback. So another 15 minutes closed. Now with this 15 minutes close, nearly if it is closing as a doji, breaking out can potentially create some kind of selling pressure can have. For 1002 up. So with a doji that you can see also the market is pushing higher at this level from the support. So here with this resistance line, Still not a good time for entry. You can see this one might be going a little higher. So if pull back to 20 EMA, where there is a support as well here, that can turn to resistance, yeah, we can look for another sell around this area. So you can see that there is a also a neckline of this head and shoulder. Let's wait to see what the market might be creating the structure around this area. There is a high possibility for another bearish move. What's your bias? Waterfall to 3K. I wish 10,000 people. Good morning. After price reacts off 50% of high volume 1 hour candle. The price has reacted to this. In fact, if you look at that overall, this zone here shows actually strong selling pressure. Has been sell off strongly, because there has been a strong sell off strongly at this level. We could see that further lowering. So now the point is to understand when the market is resuming its downtrend, finding the right point for entry. Where is the key point to look at? Okay, so you can see there is one breakup structure here. The price has pulled back near to that. Now it can start to drop again because it's a strong trend, but we want to see as much as going higher before we look for that sell entry, so that we have a high probability trade setup. Because when a market will get overextended in one direction in a falling market, it's gonna create the new trading opportunity. Here I may not be very greedy. I will be just entering with a that the high probability entry. That's where the most important part. I think some of the big guys who are peeling up long way also may taken out today. Uh, the smart money, the trading system with the smart money and as a retail trader is different, very different. And usually, if you look at that on larger volume traders, they also have losing trades, but over the long term, most of them make money. And one thing happen is that sometimes some lose, but the key here is that if you look at that bigger volume in the market, those volume is from um, the liquidity that you can see. So for the smart money, it's really little harder to trade. Like as a retail trader, we can trade the price action, candlestick pattern. For the smart money, there are many factors such as liquidity, one of the biggest factor. Okay. Okay, we can see some push here. So yeah, it's breaking above this key level. So I'm prepared to enter, but we need to see what the price action shows along this way. If you look at entry, there is a break of structure that you can see at this level, and that might even go a little higher as the sessions volume might be coming along this way. Where's my mobile? So that if you look at the 30 minutes closing, and with this 30 minutes close, it's a full rejection of this lower price that you can see. And okay, this is a um, very big move here from the 15 minutes as well. The volatility is high. NY open. Volatility is high, so we are looking to see if we enter, we need little wider stop loss. But I think if you look at, didn't break this 4009 yet, as the sessions opening. Let's see how the market react to that. There's a fair value gap here above this level. Okay, I'm opening here sell trade of this. From here, we'll keep stop loss at 4017, little higher, 4017 at this level. which is a tighter stop loss. If you look at that, only 153 p with the current volatility, and TP target at this level here. It's a quick move that you want to take. TP target will be setting at 83.81, and this is a, I'm opening this sell trade. So I have opened the sell on XAUUSD as the market has done that deeper pullback. They're expecting it to come down back below to this support area. And there is a sharp drop. The trend is expecting to continue. If you look at the 5 minutes here, which is a large bear candle. And the TP target at this level is because we want to take this move. As the market has gone up, it's a high probability to come back again to this support area here again at that level. So that's the basis. Now, usually when a trending market breaks like that, it goes for a high probability move again to come back down. And this level will be around 190 pip to nearly to 200 pip if we can take it. It's a sell trade that I'm running. So it's coming down here, and which is showing that the market trend is currently okay, because there is a, if you look at, there is an imbalance here. Chances for coming back down to this support is higher. Okay, for me it's a high probability. We'll be waiting to hit potentially to the TP. It's most likely to return down back below. So this is where you can see the market is I think the bias is the market, if successfully break below, it can come well below to the support. Okay, now it's a breakup structure of this. If this is not pushing high again, chances for this coming to break 3973 is very high. Okay, I think we might be able to secure this trade shortly. So there is another head and shoulder here, and if anyone wants to hold a partial position, you can do so, but I'm closing the full with the TP. Almost there. Little lower. By the way, I'm closing manually, just few pip. I'm out. So I have closed manually just for 1 or 2 pip. We don't want to miss that for few pips. There's a candle close, so taken out. So this is a support area that you can see now. The market trend is still remaining here bearish, and okay, so Okay, so with slower, smaller candle formation here, there you can see the market shows a little bias here, and that might try to push up. Now, if you look at the 15 minutes price action, this is a large bearish engulfer in the direction of the trend. So it shows that the market trend is in a long term. If you look at that overall daily chart, also shows bearish. So I've secured this one trade. I'm updating here. We have sold 190 pip, and now daily price is, if you look at where you can see that the market is rejecting of this daily 10 exponential moving average, which is a big point here to look at. I have few positions. Okay, thank you. And by the way, for those who have experienced this trade, and I believe you enjoyed, you see that patience is key, um, especially in trading. I don't jump on trade when the market is going very high. Better to wait for the market to pull back and then to enter on a pullback. That will give you more and more probability. Okay. Now, I know that many of you still probably not being able to successful as a trader in terms of the trading psychology, or not having a proper strategy. Now, today is Thursday. There is one more day remaining for you to completely join with the fully free discounted coupon, and to the mentorship program, to the signal group, as well as our regular uh, premium trade alert and also education. So I'm sharing you with that link now, as well as the coupon code. And also visit the website www. I'm sharing with you guys here. And so you can visit the website and use that coupon on your checkout, where you can find everything directly accessing from your dashboard to get access to proper trade setup, as well as everything. And we will be looking for more entries later today here, so don't miss out any of that. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So you can take that opportunity to become a lifetime member of this Forex Trading Wizard Academy. So here, so at this level that you can see from here, that the market of this breaking, the price has now has reacted back below with this movement. It may go back again for another retest. Now what's your bias on that? Have you taken that one here? Okay, slowly the market is here, um, creating that upside bias, which is, if you look at that, after breaking this high, the market is slowly coming down. Yeah, another trading opportunity can come. uh, if you look at here, you see this candle started again to the upside from this support, which is from this support here, that you can see that the market is slowly now moving up, and it might cross this high here. If we enter any trade, has to be above this level. Okay, and also another important point is that 4-hour candle close coming. So this is a very large bearish engulfer that you can see. That's a sign of potentially further trend continuation, but it might go for little extended consolidation here. What I think, if you look at the 5 minutes, that you can see, so you still can trade here. But I think it might create, if you see that there is a double bottom, there's the W, it might go up here, break above, can have some consolidation pattern, and finally can potentially break below again. So with double bottom here, it's having that upside here. Yeah, so you could see another trade shortly. I'm waiting for confirmation. Okay, price action confirmation. This is what you only, as a retail trader, the only thing that we have is the price action confirmation, right? So we are looking at only. So here, shows another breakup structure. Is there any breaking news that we should be looking at the moment? Okay, now the market is here at this level, shows some sideway correction, right? 30 minutes candle close as well with large red candle, and it can have another bounce and then can continue to drop. And I think the market is still in a downtrend until we see confirmation. No one knows exactly what the market do exactly in terms of the probabilistic perspective. We see that here the market is in a downtrend. Okay, so we can see some more another trade opportunity soon. How many of you want another trade? Let me know. I see that many of you interested. Let's see the market to show its directional bias, and then we can see what we could find in this area. And okay, yes, very good. Thank you. Thank you. The market is little sideway now. It's basically uh, If you look at that 30 minutes, as the market has tested this lower part, waiting for liquidity for potentially coming down again in this area. With a double top here, which is pretty big double top that you can see at this level, but still we might see here for deeper pullback in this area. So with another narrow, if you look at that doji here, we can see the market shows again significant move in this direction here. So what is current, if you look at that, is there any, the market inside where there isn't any significant news that influencing the market? um, so you see there is recently there was, this is the first news that we have seen with the market started with volatility. Iran tells Yemen's Houthis to close Bab el Mandeb gateway to the Red Sea if US hits power network. Okay. Iran wants US or of Hormuz red line say it will retaliate Trump's strike threatens. So there are some show that with this news there was significant liquidity sweep and the market start to escalate again. Okay. And Iran reportedly tells Houthis, okay. So this is an analysis news. Iran reportedly tells Houthis to close Red Sea oil route if US decide to stop power infrastructure. Now, going to that direction, Iran, okay. So Israel, US confirm ongoing coordination amid development in Iran. So that means from all those sites that we can see shows that there is increased escalation on war, and I think also in other region as well. So how does we can see the oil price currently? There was a bullish breakout in the previous session, and this session we can see the market again testing this support. So you can see that from here the market moved up strongly, pull back to that previous resistance, turn support, and you can see the market again creating upside. So this long wick on the 4-hour chart represents that oil price is to remain, at least for a short period of time, bullish here, and also there's a gap open. I think potentially going back to WTA 82, 83 level. And USD/JPY slowly also started to move up. We saw this yesterday from here, rejected back below, and this rejection back below, the market now slowly again moving back to the upside on USD/JPY. And euro dollar, as I mentioned earlier, the price is above this resistance on euro dollar. As with the rejection on gold price, daily chart shows that euro dollar has had an upside, downside, but I think now it's potentially started to trend back below on euro dollar. It may continue to trend back down here. So that means euro dollar, if breaks below, you could see the market to eventually come back below to this support or even lower. So these are some of the analysis. Going back to the gold, where you can see rejected. You can see there is a rejection. Yeah, you can see there is a rejection. It's head and shoulder. So you can see from here. So this green candle that you can see potentially has created liquidity gap. Can do some more up and down here in this area before it quadruple top, before it eventually comes down back below. So if you look at that here, yeah, it's still not ready, or I think still not ready for a full drop. Potentially it can drop, or it can go again back to break this high here. Doesn't seems to me very strongly bearish here. And we have two sessions today. Now if you guys looked at our previous session as well, this is another session that we have opened few days today. And as you're progressing towards end of the week, today's Thursday, right? Yeah, so it's Thursday, very volatile day, and I have an announcement that this week you guys can join the mentorship completely free of charge, which is this is the potentially last week if we have full the position. And the discounted coupon, you can find link below this video, so I'm sharing with you here. So So here I have shared in the live chat. You guys can get it and then use it on your checkout to get access to exclusive content, signals, education, analysis, and trading tools. Everything will be from the dashboard that you can get access to that. So that's it. That's it. This is another successful trading day, and you have opened one position this session, and I'm coming again live as well tomorrow, trading live again, both session London as well as NY session, and also later today also I will be posting full breakdown of some of the instrument might be giving next trade, either currency or gold, whichever you are trading. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you again tomorrow on London as well as NY session trading. Until that, stay well, stay happy.